and many of the characters and stories are based off people we know in real life. At the time, we were feeling disillusioned with education, disoriented and not sure what to do next. Bo and Al try to figure out their place in the world.
Making this project, we wanted to celebrate the magic of everyday domestic mundanity, like having barbecues, playing video games, and staying up late just talking in bed.
Hannah and I started work on No Longer Home 6 years ago, after we graduated university. We met on the same course, and during the last year, we moved in together.
After graduation, I unfortunately had to go back to Japan. How do you say goodbye to a place? We started making No Longer Home as a way to stay in touch, but it rapidly grew as we realized how much we had to talk about and all the feelings we had to process. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. No Longer Home will be launching later this year, so please don't forget to wishlist on Steam.
Man, Origami 2 is looking so fantastic. I need some of that stealth action in my life.
Yep, and Fire Girl, that looks pretty unique too. Up next, we have some magic and swordplay popping off in the next segment with an update from a bona fide classic and a new entry in the hybrid puzzle and strategy realm. Guard your loot and upgrade your boots, because we're about to slap you in the face with a spike ball mace.
Bars.
Siguiente juego, ¡hurra! Una serpiente. Un super lobo. Oh, se ve genial y es ambientado como en el pasado el juego. Hoy viajas en alma. ¡Estoy en vivo! ¡Oh, qué bacán! Se ve todo chévere. ¡Monstruo! 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 Hunt the Night, Cazador de la Noche. Dungeon, Moonlight. En Steam. ¡Oh! Va a estar el juego en Steam. Genial. Hypertrain Digital. Creo que este juego es de una invocadora. ¡De Rusia! ¡Triángulo Illuminati! Sí. Un cura. Sí, es en Rusia. Y es de una hechicera, maga, bruja. Biak Book. Oh, se ve genial el juego. En Steam. World Premiere. Rare B-Rat Entertainment presenta un juego. Este es de cartas, en cambio, de estrategia y pluses de elementos. Estos de cartas no me van mucho en videojuegos. En vida real sí juego juegos de cartas como Yu-Gi-Oh! Y por ahí tengo 2 cartas de Magic. Demon's Mirror. Demonios en el espejo. Demonios del espejo. En Steam va a estar. En Steam el juego. Oh, genial, también en Steam. Perfect Walk. Cryptic. Dungeons Dragons.
Greetings, friends. Senior game designer Salim Grant here to talk about the Bard.
Salim Grant.
Stylish and flamboyant, the Bard uses the magic of music to defeat their enemies and cure their allies. This twisting of song and magic created a versatile gameplay
Eres un bardo ahí.
enough to make this our next class.
O sea, un
Whether
cantante.
dazzling their enemies with dancing lights, weaving in and
Que
out
no hay
of the
guerrero,
frenzy
solo hay bardo.
frenzied symphony of combat, the Bard never shies away from pulling out their instruments and stringing a few notes together.
Al parecer es un bardo
No
muy
matter what
fuerte.
is needed, a Bard is always ready to take center stage and perform. And when the day is done, their enemies
puedes volar.
defeated and their allies safe, the Bard becomes a source of entertaining ballads and jingles that recount their tales of triumph. With that, we have reached the last crescendo, but fret not, for we are not at the finale just yet. There is more to this ballad that will be revealed over the next few months, so please, stay tuned.
Neverwinter. No me atrajo ese juego porque es solamente de bardos. Yo quería un guerrero o un mago.
Loot River is essentially an action roguelike which is about shifting dungeons around coming to Xbox and PC. And I would like to show you a new game.
Se escucha mucho eco en esta
Shows you
imagen.
controls of the game, a
En este
procedural
video.
generation used in the game, choosing some areas, bit of combat, and perhaps a new thing or two that you didn't see in the trailer.
Ya, siguiente juego, a ver.
Okay, let's actually take it a bit slower and start. I'll show you some controls. You can move your hero
Va a ser para Xbox.
left stick, responding to your pressure, and you can also dash and dodge on controller with the A button. And you attack with the right bumper. That's your standard attack. It now changes into combos. It used to be just like one attack before, but now it's like 1, 2, 3, fluidly changing into one another for a better feel of combat. You can also do a heavy attack, or what you could do is charge your heavy attack for special damage. Cool, right? And there are many different weapons in Loot River, and each is useful in different scenarios and has different properties and you can do different stuff with it. Let's go to the first combat area now, the Sunken Village. It's the first area where you already navigate.
A ver, esta historia parece de un guerrero samurái
Standing on the platform
que tiene que pelear contra las sombras.
upwards, downwards, or in any direction you want. And let's approach these enemies up now.
Sí, contra unos demonios sombra.
One by one, if you want. Or what we could do instead is just like charge right in and do some heavy attacks and hope for the best. But
Se ve entretenido, se ve genial.
idea, unless you have a large weapon. So instead we could, always like isolate them into parts that we can manage, or we could skip them completely.
Como va huyendo de los demonios.
Dangerous. So what I'm gonna do instead is just charge my attack and slam the platform into it. Right, for special damage. You see, the levels of Loot River are procedural, but they are handcrafted at the same time. What we do is design lots of smaller areas for possible connections and then let the computer assemble them and look for logical relations in between them. So even from small pool of objects, we're already getting some interesting variations in the levels. Enemies evolve for combat on the platforms. Some can even lock platforms together, preventing you from sliding away until you defeat them, gaining your ability back. Others might wield long-range weapons, able to jump platforms or cause devastating damage. However, most of them have a weakness. Hairy enemies burn really well. You will visit many interesting places, obtain legendary weapons,
Oh, armas legendarias, dice. Y demonios y monstruos.
die by your hand. But those who persist can get even further, explore places never seen before, face horrors, and perish again. Looterer.
Loot River really has me intrigued. I really like what they're doing with the combat and the Tetris-like platforming elements. So cool.
Yeah, and Demon Mirror has really great sound.
You're just, dude, you're just saying that because you worked on that game.
Yeah.
So what do we got coming up next?
Up next, we have some dark and sinister titles, starting with a physical release trailer of a gorgeous and deadly first-person
Una
action.
Pokébola.
Then we're jumping into a spoof on a beloved stealth classic, and ending it with an exclusive trailer from our friends at Raw Fury.
Let's go.
Nintendo Switch. Vieron, Doctor Octavius.
Enough!
Ah, es un juego de parkour.
Things from here on.
Ghost Runner. Parece Capucha Roja.
Ontaio della ver,
Luz y oscuridad. Miren un ángel.
grautaria bridi, e res.
Criatura híbrida infernal.
Sul adi oscaridue,
De la luz y la oscuridad. Ah, es un ángel. O sea, es un ángel demonio. Es un ángel ángel, mitad demonio.
os mesmos existem como absurda ad muterus. Muda em despres res astapite.
Oh, una guerra entre ángeles y demonios. Se ve genial el juego.
Usul adi oscaridue.
Luz y la oscuridad.
Veco mu porigi grenda dinest rapado aximes euc veco centunio oxistinde.
Está hablando en latín.
Oh no, an evil fog is corrupting every living creature. There is one that is immune. Who is this mighty hero? A slime? How can an adorable little slime fight against this? This? Or that? Wait, where did it get that sword? Is that a meteor shower? How?
Oh, vas con un
When
slime.
did you get that? Now there are two of them? Alright, slimes can be heroes. Grab a friend and save the world from oozy monsters and formidable bosses. Discover different weapons and create your own magical abilities to express the way you want to adventure in Slime Heroes.
Oh, Slime Heroes. Qué bacán. Demon Tour.
Demon Tour.
I'm so excited we could finally announce PS4 and PS5.
There is a lot of platforms.
Oh yeah, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, Steam, Epic Game Store. Oh.
Basically, you'll be able to play Demon Turf anywhere.
Yep. But what is Demon Turf exactly? Well, Lucy, take it away.
Sure. So her goal is to take on the Demon King, who pretty much owns his place. Tall order, right? And apparently he's been challenging her for a while now. Her best friend Midgie is also part of this epic quest. But enough of all that. Let's check out some gameplay, yo! Sizzle real time.
O sea, este juego trata de un alma que se fue al infierno y ahora tiene que, no sé, que hacer misiones, salir, etcétera.
Beavis' moveset in Demon Turf has a lot of depth.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about combined moves to feel badass.
One of my favorite examples is this tower climb. The different ways you can skip so many parts of it.
Things really heat up though once you unlock the turf moves.
Oh yeah, yanking enemies around, rolling down highways,
soaring through the skies.
No, se convierte en un
combine
juego.
it all, and you get to see runs like these from our incredible speedrunner community.
It still blows my mind every time.
Beginner or pro, we hope to see you pull off some of these moves from Demon Turf releases sometime later this year.
Bring it on.
Epic Games y el Steam. Oh, va a estar genial. Exclusivo de el E3. Otro juego retro. Arieta. Wake up. Un ataque de un fantasma, el espíritu te mueve. Ah, es sobre una guerrera. Genial. Arieta, la guerrera, Arieta del espíritu.
In 1972, a crack commando unit threw me in a prison.
Parece Contra.
You're under arrest for a crime you didn't commit.
Hey, a coin! Yeah! Hey, buddy, I have no paper.
Here you are.
You saved my ass, literally.
Sold a one-eyed man's patch? That patch turned out to be handy to create a lethal weapon. What were you gonna shoot? Pebbles? Depleted uranium balls.
O sea, se ve genial, pero no es mi tipo de juego ese que... O sea, este sí parece Contra el antiguo. De hecho, debe estar inspirado en Contra.
the sewer was infested with assassin rats. Felt like I was a huge chunk of cheese.
Who's there? Damn cat. Who's there? Another cat.
Another cut. Qué verga.
Fuck! Landmine! Wait!
It's kill or be killed.
Es matar o morir. Oh, un juego de mechas. Pero es a blanco y negro, no jodas. O sea, se ve genial, pero como es a blanco y negro no me gusta. Wolves tried. What's this now?
Hey, this is Matt, developer of Severed Steel, and I'm here to talk about some cool ways players have been playing the demo I released.
Okay, este juego ya está a colores, este
is
está mejor.
supposed to kick that door open and deal with all the guys in the hallway. But players found a way to use the arm cannon to carve a hole to the left of the door like you saw, which gets you into this hallway. It's a little bit safer, and there's some nice weapons to find in there. I played this cool thing where they throw their weapon down the hallway and then fight through the hallway. By the time you're at the end of the hallway, you're low on ammo or you're out of ammo, and you have a loaded weapon ready to go. When I first saw that, it blew my mind. I thought it was a super cool move. Players have been doing cool stuff with manipulating AI. So you saw I just got wrecked kicking down that door. But if I use the audio perception of the AI to kick a wall, lure them over, you can set up ambushes. That's really useful in the harder difficulties where, in the hardest difficulty, one shot kills you. So that's been a really useful technique. There's one stunt in the game that I didn't actually include in the tutorial, and that's the ability to jump and kick off walls. And on my Discord, players have been sharing really crazy footage where in rooms like this with a really high ceiling, they are jumping and kicking off enemies to get loads of airtime they can use.
Oh, puedes ir al revés, está genial el juego.
In the arcade mode, you get points for stylish kills, and getting that airtime and killing enemies upside down really can rack up your score. I didn't expect players would figure out more advanced stunts like this, but there's a lot of really cool footage of players doing stuff like that. I've been really thrilled with how players figured that out. And in one last clip, you could see some content that wasn't featured in the demo. A lot of players asked for enemy outlines to help discern them, so you can see I've added them here. And players asked for a double shotgun, which you see I'm rocking right now. I hope you enjoyed this preview of Severed Steel. It's slated for PC release late summer of this year, and if you like what you saw, definitely give it a wishlist on Steam. If you are a console player, there are also PlayStation 4 and Xbox One releases planned for shortly after PC. Thanks again.
Oh, está bacán. Severed Steel. Acero severo. ¡Una pokebola! Otro juego de demonios. Slave. Sabu. Creo. Cheatworks. No, son personas con máscaras con cuernos. Al estilo de... al puro estilo de Star Wars. Septiembre 23 del 2021. Ah, está interesante ese juego. Slave.
Thank you so much, Raw Fury, for that special exclusive footage. Up next, we have an exclusive reveal for one of the most bloodiest sprite-based action platformers I have ever seen. We will check in on a dark and beautiful pixel art RPG, help clean up a forensic nightmare, and then we are heading to an update from a mystical masterpiece from one of our Best of the Mix 2020 award winners. Grab your hazmat suit, Alex.
Oh, why?
Because we're about to go in and get grimy.
Let's do it.
Otro juego retro. Parece que solo los juegos retros están atrayendo la atención del público antiguo desde los 80s, así. Ah, un juego de matar vampiros. ¿O de ser un vampiro? No sé. Vampiros terroristas. ¡Es Blade! A ver, uno es Blade, el otro es Drácula, el otro es un monstruo y el otro vampiro es un hombre lobo. Hola Psycho, ¿cómo estás? Hola. Estamos viendo el E3. Es decir, los videojuegos que saldrán en el futuro. Se acabó el tiempo. ¿Qué carajo es eso? Un Cthulhu. Deadtrash.com. Me da una pieza de carne.
Hello, my name is Jacek Głowacki and I'm the head of company development at Broad Distance. We're established by Bluebird team and we've just celebrated our 12th birthday. Our goal right now is to become a fully realized AA studio.
My name is Krzysztof Ziomba. I'm a writer and game designer at Broad Distance. We make games with unique stories and visual styles, excellent soundtracks and captivating gameplay. We are known for our Vampire the Masquerade titles and Serial Cleaner. Our next game is its sequel, Serial Cleaners, a stealth action crime story set in 90s NYC.
Oh, otro juego de vampiros. Al parecer van a sacar muchos juegos de vampiros. Ya van dos con este.
Serial Cleaners is our biggest one so far and it's set to launch later this year. We've got a good vibe and we're expanding, so come join us on our adventure to the 90s.
Serial Cleaners. Limpiadores asesinos. Ahí se tienen que esconder. Ah, es un juego de esconderse y de matar. Vamos a ver otro juego. No me atrajo mucho ese de los vampiros. El otro de los vampiros estaba bien. Buen juego. No, otro juego a blanco y negro. No. Capaz que tiene temática de terror.
We are Monaco, and we're a small, very small studio from Cologne in Germany. And what you see before you is our very first game, a cinematic platformer called White Shadows.
So, White Shadows is basically a modern Fable. It drops you off in this huge, weird, vertical world that is called the White City, even though it's really, really dark. And in this White City, there are the rats and the wolves, and they're in charge. And then there's the pigs and the sheep who do all the work. And then there's the birds who are, or at least so they say, to blame for a deadly pandemic.
Solo veo un ojo nomás.
Little Raven Girl trying to change all that. So basically, this game is not really a puzzle platformer, it's more of a trip.
It kind of drops you off in this really weird world, and if you imagine inside in Tim Burton having a really mean, weird little baby born in 1984, then you'd have this game.
It's black and white, it's dark, it has to do with a lot of stuff that is in our world today, and it's also really entertaining.
We, as the developers, think that's really funny, but people who played it tell us that it's really, really dark. So, you be the judge of that.
No me gustó, es solo blanco y negro y es demasiado oscuro y juega mucho con la luz, las sombras, la neblina. Casi no veo al personaje, no me gustó. Sombras blancas.
माँ दुर्गा, मुझे आपकी जरूरत है।
Oh, un juego.
अपने दिल की सुनो राजी, तुम्हें शक्ति मिल जाएगी।
Un juego de la India.
लड़ो राजी, योद्धा बनो।
Raji.
Shout out to Raji. Congrats on winning Best of the Mix 2020. Such an awesome studio out of India, you know. Also, Bats is looking mad slick, if I don't say so myself. You know what I mean? But yeah, before we move on to the next segment, we want to say thanks to our broadcasting partners, Twitch, Steam, IGN, and of course, GameSpot. Thank you guys for all your help in hosting the stream.
Yep. And also don't forget to check out the Guerrilla Collective event page on Steam to wishlist the games, play the demos from this event as well as from Wholesome Direct, which is coming up next. We have a link on the Guerrilla Collective website, guerrillacollective.com.
Up next, we're going to connect with our friends at Tiny Build. We're doing gargantuan things with really creative indie developers. Let's creep around the corner and say hello to our neighbor devs working with Tiny Build to peep what they have cooking up. Word.
Hola Andrés Pérez, ¿cómo estás? Hola, hola, hola. Estamos viendo el E3.
Hello, Meatbag. This is my game, Despot's Game. I will give you a group of puny humans, and you will lead them to the end of the dungeon. If you can get past my cute little robots, zombie wombies, and flesh-eating cabbage wabbages.
Con el poder del amor. No mentiras, el poder de la música.
That means that all the fighting happens automatically. It also means permadeath and randomly generated dungeons. In order to win, your humans will need weapons, or whatever you can find to use as a weapon. Combine different kinds of dumb items to create your own dumb army. Your army needs to be positioned, fed, and genetically modified. Just don't get too attached to your little humans. They'll be dropping like flies. Let me tell you a little secret. If you make it far enough in the dungeon, you'll get the chance to fight other players! You probably think I came up with all this in order to raise a perfect army of mutated humans capable of conquering the universe, right? Wrong. I simply enjoy watching pathetic humans hit each other with refrigerators. You're in Despot's game now!
Config Games bears no responsibility for salty tears, broken keyboards, busted screens, or therapy expenses due to the effects of extended gaming sessions. Not recommended for use by children, pregnant women, or people who have loud conversations on their phones in public.
Un juego de magia. Es un juego para hacer pócimas. Ese es un juego de alquimia. Potion Craft. Ay, por fin un juego bueno. Con colores.
This is Dustin.
And this is Eric from Animal.
And we're the creators of Ramen.
Along with our extremely small team of passionate individuals, we're really excited to get this out to you.
Ramen's a food fighting arena game with a bunch of quirks and twists.
And today we're going to show you one of our favorite game modes, along with a new work in progress mode that we've been working on.
So let's start with the meatball mode.
Yeah, and meatball mode, it's all about putting the meat in the hole, the goal hole. You got to jump in and take control.
Like, what does that mean? It sounds good, but what does that mean?
Well, it's basically kind of like Katamari, where the objective is to jump into a giant meatball, take control of it, roll around, charge it up, and shoot it into various goal locations throughout the map. All while basically avoiding enemies and the onslaught of food that they throw at you. Next up, Boba Ball.
Well, Boba Ball is one of our newest work-in-progress game modes, but still a ton of fun.
O sea, es una copia de Splatoon este juego.
Boba Balls at a giant Boba Ball.
Work together with your taste buds to blast the giant Boba Ball into the opposing team's goal. But look, kills don't count in this mode, so prioritize getting the giant ball from A to B. But a few balls to the face never hurt anyone, so blast your foes to keep them from gaining control of the ball.
Blast your toes?
Foes.
Okay, bros, I guess. Wait, what's this written down about meat chassis?
We wrote that?
Yeah, it says, say something about meat chassis.
Oh, yeah, the old bag of meat and bones. You know, the players, the soup saviors. Players can customize their character almost however they want within our high-fashion, highly polished configurator zone.
Alright, well, within this configurator zone thing, when it comes to fashion, we got you covered with a trunk full of different culinary styles, vibes, and drips. Your soup slinger is yours to design and decorate. Honestly, the world is your oyster. Decorate to your heart's content.
Este juego es una copia de Splatoon.
I think it's time we wrap it up here.
Yeah, good idea. Thanks for tuning in to watch our video and giving us the opportunity to talk your ears off about ramen.
Okay.
Pretty excited about it.
Estoy en vivo.
Oh, and that being said, be sure to hop into our Discord so you can be part of the playtest and help us perfect the recipe of ramen.
Yeah, we hope you get a chance to play. We really appreciate all the support y'all have shown over the course of development. It really means a lot and motivates us. Bye. Thanks for stopping by.
A ver, un juego de cocina, sí, de hamburguesitas. ¡De hamburguesitas! De casetas. Ajá, pero tienes que matar monstruos. Fast Food Simulator. ¡Qué feo!
We are so appreciate. Have a happy humble day.
Hamburguesa feliz.
Meet the creepy, AI-driven Mr. Peterson. This character has one mission, keeping you from discovering his secrets. Hello, and welcome to Hello Neighbor 2. In this game, you'll be playing as a local journalist named Quentin, who is suspicious of his creepy neighbor, Mr. Peterson. For those new to the Hello Neighbor franchise, this is Raven Brooks, the sort of town where everyone keeps to themselves and goes about their lives. Normally, you would too, except a bunch of people have gone missing. And there's just something strange about your neighbor, Mr. Peterson. Everyone is afraid of him. There have been rumors of children going to his house and never being heard from again. Some people say he likes to lock people up in his basement. But no one has any proof. So people just try to avoid Mr. Peterson, his odd house, and ignore the strange sounds coming from his basement at night. You have a feeling that Mr. Peterson is behind all of the neighborhood disappearances, but no one believes in your ideas and theories. And while you normally wouldn't break into someone's house, you're the only one who believes something is wrong and has the guts to uncover the truth. When you break into Mr. Peterson's house, you'll be going against an AI that is constantly evolving. Our goal for Hello Neighbor 2 is to provide unique player experiences. This is an experience that is driven by the community. Mr. Peterson's behavior is a combination of a neural network and algorithms that allow him to constantly learn from his experiences with everyone who plays our game. It begins with the collection of player activity. Mr. Peterson takes note of player behavior, whether or not most players are likely to hide in a closet, use a certain escape route, or certain objects. As time progresses and he learns, Mr. Peterson's behavior may change and surprise you. How Mr. Peterson plays in one encounter with you might be different from the next, all due to his encounters with the game's community as a whole. In this way, the community's experience with Mr. Peterson changes over time, allowing for an AI that is developed through community actions, replayability, and great stories of neighborhood shenanigans. But these new experiences go beyond Mr. Peterson. In Hello Neighbor 2, players can interact with all characters in Raven Brooks, and these characters share the same AI core, but behave differently and have their own stories for you to discover. So while you might think you're just playing the game, you're really contributing to the development and improvement of Mr. Peterson's AI. We hope this presentation of our AI and development gives you an idea of what to expect in Hello Neighbor 2. If you'd like to try an early access version of Hello Neighbor 2, you can wishlist the game on Steam and check out our alphas on the Microsoft Store. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the neighborhood.
Ya, siguiente juego.
Ahoy, sailors! Not this again. Trash sailors! Pirate Guide. Every pirate knows that the real treasure is friendship. Just kidding. It's trash. I love you, trash. It's everything. Fuel, building materials, and weapons. Seriously, just stuff in as much trash as you can and let her rip. Just remember, this raft is your only home. Take good care of it, and if anyone dares set foot here,
bueno, este juego va a ayudar al medio ambiente porque es para coger basura y crear cosas.
Beautiful trash. Defend it to your last breath and steer carefully. Oh, and don't forget to fix anything that breaks. Ah, scurvy bilge-sucking son of a seagull! If your
Estas arañas están mal hechas.
the good old ship's cannons aren't enough. Try the
Tienen solo
newfangled
seis
trash
patas.
technology. You have countless aces up your sleeve. Use anything you get your hands on. They want to steal our trash? Let them try. We'll hit them with everything we got.
Shout out to Tiny Build. They are producing and publishing some of the most amazing indie titles coming out. Ramen is looking real fantastic.
Ya pongan Pokémon.
Yeah. And for our Guerrilla Collective 2 finale, we're going to head out with an exclusive, humbling conversation that we had with Innersloth, the team behind Among Us, and check in on some fun and upbeat games, as well as
Among Us, sí, Among Us.
with some fun
Among Us.
retro throwback games.
And before we finish everything up, we are also going to go to an exclusive interview with our friends at Limited Run Games. Let's rock. Welcome back to the Guerrilla Collective. We have Marcus Bromander and Adriel Wallach from the Innersloth dev team. Super happy to have you guys hopping on the Guerrilla Collective for an interview. Tell us about yourselves.
I'm Marcus, also known as Puffballs United. I'm one of the co-founders of Innersloth. I worked on a lot of the art, the sound design, game design, and miscellaneous other spots in the game, but no coding.
Hi, I am Adriel. I'm the lead programmer at Innersloth, which means I live in the code, I make a bunch of lists, I tell the other programmers what to do, and I fix bugs.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the team and go into what you have in store for the game. But first, I want to ask you a couple of questions about the team and how you're moving forward. So first of all, for people who don't know, where did your studio name Innersloth come from, and who is repping the team?
So when we first formed our company, me and Forrest, we were trying to come up with a name and we were kind of just stuck. So we went on a random name generation site and just like click through, and Innersloth just kind of felt, for me it was like, I have the motivation to make stuff, but like the inside of me is kind of lazy, it's hard to get motivated sometimes. So that the sloth really stuck to me there.
You know, some people think that success is overnight, but you have all been grinding to make things happen with such a small team. What have some of the challenges been during the growth and iterative development of the game been?
I would say, just in general, going from 3 people to we're at 8 now, I think, is such a different work environment completely. Like getting everyone on the same page is something that's we're still learning how to do.
Hi everyone, I'm Gina, Community Manager at Lintheworks. We are so excited to be able to show you this gameplay sneak peek of Aragami 2, our second game, arriving September 17th
Oh, se puede hacer de humo el chico.
and PlayStation 5. Aragami 2 is a third-person stealth game where you play as an assassin with the power to control the shadows. As part of your clan, you'll have to fight the invader armies to protect your people and to find a cure to the evil that afflicts you. The main pillars of Aragami 2 are stealth in its core, all new combat mechanics and a robust co-op multiplayer system. This goes along with a newly designed character progression, customization, and a wide variety of abilities and shadow powers, so each player can live this new story in their own way.
Sigo jugando.
Que me ayude en la parte de arriba, yo no alcanzo. Está puro polvo. Player to actually feel like a ninja, to be fast and agile, to use the environment in its favor, and the shadow powers to feel more organic. Now you can navigate through the map in a more fast and responsive way. You can double jump, you can use dash and shadow leap while in the air, you can flying. We Also, like Tales Behavior.
Sí está bacán el juego, está chévere. Al fin un juego que me gusta.
It's now to create Tales agile of a lot of strength, and also reinforcing the feeling of being outnumbered by the enemy.
Vamos a otro juego. Ya, este juego también me gusta el motor gráfico de este. Storming Games. Ah, es como Diablo 3. Oh, se ve genial. Batora, la buscaba.
Making you the player feel like
Ya, este
you're
juego también me
taking
gusta.
part in the soundtrack itself through
Es
your
de
actions.
pistola y de matar monstruos.
Clearing each room will reward you with loot.
Announced, but
designs and ideas.
The colors are super hard. We're trying to move away from having colors be the main.
Bueno amigos, eso es todo. Hasta aquí llega el video porque están hablando mucho estos manes. Así que nos vemos. Chao, 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 chao. Hasta la próxima.
At least to begin with,
Cuídense
make
mucho.
them as distinct as possible. So I have to like pull up all the colors we have, and then think about like, look at the color wheel and go, okay.